Welcome to this new episode of Wout of the World. And we're on a road trip through Europe, just arrived in the south of Poland, in Zakopane. And we have a tent to set up in the middle of all the mountains. What do you think of it, Jens? Yay! Camping! Well, there's also a playground, so Jens has the time of his life.
And this was the epic Europe road trip so far. We drove from the Netherlands through Germany's history, from half-timbered houses to insane sandstone mountains. In Poland we already saw colored lakes, the happiest zoo on earth, and old cities. We were blown away by the diversity and buzzing atmosphere of Krakow.
The city trip in Krakow is done and we're driving on through Poland. And in the following one you will see us relaxing in the sunshine, camping in Zakopane. See you there.
We're on the road again and definitely wanted to show you the fantastic route through the mountain land. We stay at Camp Villa Skocek for only 20 euros, and this is the campsite with the best view on the Tatra Mountains.
We used this tent at the first stop and it's a blow-up tent, so it should be fairly easy actually. But I also found out there's an even easier way without pumping, and that's actually the easiest. I recommend everyone. That is just this. Whoa! This is chill, isn't it? It's a magic tent. No, seriously, the blow-up tent, guys, ideal. I think it took 20 minutes to half an hour of pumping and it stands.
Time to explore Zakopane, also known as the winter capital of Poland.
On some 2 hours drive of Krakow, we find the most popular place in all of Poland. At least, that's what I think by just looking around me. We're finally in Zakopane. You can do winter sport here, mountain climbing, or just a nice summer holiday too. And it is, as you can see, pretty crowded.
The center is full of wooden villas built in the unique Zakopane style. We wander around on the cobblestones of Krupówski Street, in the winter swamped by skiers and snowboarders, now by kids eating ice cream. This is the national hero Zamoyski, who claimed this land for Poland and protected this area's nature against exploitation. He donated his estate and his fortune to found the Tatra National Park. The Wolaszowy Potok is a small river straight through town. It provides the town with fresh mountain water.
Hey Jens, what's this? Yummy? Or is this yummy?
Zakopane is also the perfect place to dine out on the terraces, and we find daily specials for only 10 euros.
A very good morning. It is only 7 And I am up early for a lovely hike I'm making today. Susan Jens still sleeps some more. And I'm gonna go to Morskie Oko, the top side here in the mountains. And gotta love the morning.
From Zakopane, I drive straight into the lush nature. In only 40 minutes, this road takes me to the start of the best hike in all of Poland, to a beautiful hidden mountain lake.
Oh, I was up so early today, man. And it's actually crowded. Many people are in the line for a parking spot, as you see. And I found my parking in Slovakia, just across from this bridge here. Oh, pretty fun to see Slovakia for a change.
The Tatra Mountains are the national border between Poland and Slovakia, so there are hikes and sights in both countries.
The hike to Morskie Oko is practically straight on. And it's pretty busy, as you see. There's already many on the way. It's roughly 18 kilometers there and back. And I hope it will take me 4 hours to do there and back. The best weather, and I have a fantastic view, check. Before I forget, you can also, if you're really a lazy bum, take the painless way to up there. Because the whole way is actually paved, and these will take you all the way. But I think I have perfectly good legs, so no problem, let's go up. As the ancient old saying goes, there are more ways to Morskie Oko Lake. Because I find everywhere these shortcuts going up. It can be truly steep, but you don't need to take all the hairpin bends around. So it's a more lovely route, and at the same time, only shorter, but heavy. Whew.
Seeing the images, I still remember the smell of pines, wildflowers and idyllic waterfalls hidden inside the woods.
I am there, guys, at the promised land, water. Morskie Oko. It took me like 1.5 hours, so I walked pretty fast. But that's because I'm super fit. No, seriously guys, this hike is not heavy and you'll be there like within 2 hours for sure. And it is like breathtaking gorgeous. And also because I'm pretty fast, I have some time left to make some images of it. Swimming here is off limits, but the water is clear, guys. Really fantastic, beautiful. And you see the sunshine crossing the mountaintops. And this is what you're looking out over. Again, fantastic.
Morskie Oko means Eye of the Sea, because people used to believe it was connected to the Adriatic Sea underground. There are a lot of trouts in the water, which is pretty unique at 1400 meters height.
And seriously guys, this is actually the most gorgeous place in Poland, I guess. The sun is just above the mountains now. And the water is the clearest I've seen. Let's take a walk around to see more.
And there I sit along the lake. Because I'm early, there's still no one here, except for the dramatic peaks of the Tatra Mountains. This one is called Risi and it's the highest mountain of Poland with 2,500 meters. We also see Czarny Staw, a 200-meter higher lake with a deep blue color. So this is how beautiful the lake and the hike to Morskie Oko are in the summer. But I can imagine it would also look very beautiful when it's completely frozen in the wintertime. Well, I can actually show you.
It's a funny thing, guys. I got some more images of this exact same landscape as in a Christmas setting, because we're now here in April and there's a lot of snow around me. I visited this place twice, so I wanted to show you this with snow.
Beneath the starlit sky, our love's secret line, like leaves we soar so high.
I see all the same places, but this time in deep white snow and a temperature difference of about 20 degrees. And still you see some of my stubborn friends are wearing shorts at -2 degrees Celsius.
Lost in the city lights, our love's electric ride. You make me feel alive. I know July is gone. You make me feel at home in the neon glow. As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory.
Not only do we have the beautiful snowy setting, but also I returned to Lake Morskie Oko and now we can walk across the lake, not just around it, but I'm actually standing right in the middle on the ice of the lake. Look at this. How awesome is that, guys? This is the lake.
Beneath an endless night, the world spins around. You're there, ease my
We don't have the beautiful colors of the lake anymore, but now we only have snow and you don't even see where the land ends and the water begins. So you decide, guys, which is prettier of the views? The one in the summer or the one in the winter?
As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter sun. Maybe this is the season of love. As the leaves change color.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm freezing over here. Let's take the magic portal back to summer.
There's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter.
I'm glad we're back here in summer. It is nice and warm again.
This is the season of love. Maybe this is the season of love.
I am lucky to walk this beautiful route 4 times in total, and as you can see, it pays off to go early. The route can get very busy later on.
look, this is an even nicer route still.
We make a quick stop at the supermarket, cause it's time to enjoy some camping life.
Stars fly across the sky into a black night. It makes me wonder as I look in your eyes. Am I falling under your spell? Earth moving beneath my feet, sky falling down on me. I wanna believe in miracles, in things I've never seen. Is it real?
Sleeping out here is a sight on its own. Let me show you the views of the area with the drone.
Is it foolish to believe that we are over when we've just begun? I can't help it, this feeling, trying to figure this out. Is it wishful thinking?
With the clear sky, we can see the entire mountain range. The best travel time here is, as you can imagine, all year round. Winter sport is huge here from December to March, and from June to September is the best hiking season.
Oceans rise and mountains fall. In the end, so will us all. I wanna know the mystery, what's making me fall. Is it wishful thinking that the best is yet to come? Is it foolish to...
The mountain people here are called Górale, and they speak in a different Polish dialect. They also have their very own culture with folk music and local craftwork.
Trying to figure this out. Is it wishful thinking?
Let's make some typical Polish sausages and have a great meal out in the mountains before we say goodbye to Poland here.
That's all for this episode of Wout of the World in Zakopane, in the most beautiful Poland, in the Tatra Mountains. But I'll see you soon as we drive further to Czechia.
So let's pick up the Europe road trip to more hidden gems from here.
For 4 hours we drove through pouring rain from Zakopane to get to the Czech Republic. And this place, Moravia, is famous for the rolling vineyards, the beautiful landscapes and the historic castles. So it's a fairy tale, and it's the perfect place to get to know the Czech culture. So I say let's start.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by.
In the first supermarket we see, groceries seem to be quite affordable compared to Western Europe.
Somewhere in the great unknown, when I return from the afterglow,
Will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together.
This is the typical traditional Moravian village called Rostani, meaning the parting of ways. It's roughly 700 years old, but it was totally abandoned in World War II because it was turned into military training ground by Nazis. Most of it was rebuilt after that.
I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.
The countryside all around us is incredibly scenic as we go and look for a campground.
The feeling is all gone. The feeling is all gone. If I could take you back to my youth and show you what I wish I knew. My will is strong with a place to lean in the moment.
During our stay in the Czech Republic, we're here at Camping Baldovec, right in the heart of the Moravian Karst near a village called Rostani. And this is also a very cheap place because we camp out here in the lush nature for only 10 euros a night. The ideal base for nature lovers and adventurers and a prime location to get some rest and fully unwind.
Put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on. Put me together, take me back where
The place is great, the food is even better, but the prices are best as we dine here well under 10 bucks per meal.
feeling is all gone.
Good morning! And welcome guys here in Czechian camping life. We're sitting here having a bite, the sun is shining, and we'll soon be checking the surroundings here. And in Czechia there are, especially in East Czechia, crazy beautiful castles. And we're gonna take an hour's drive to the Bouzov Castle. I'm excited. And you excited, Jens? Say let's go. Yeah!
Feeling is all gone. Feeling is all gone.
We're thoroughly enjoying the Czech Republic and especially that incredible campsite in the woods. But it was time to check out the surrounding area and that brought us to Bouzov. And Bouzov is home to one of the most beautiful medieval castles in entire Europe, or at least in Czechia, the Castle of Bouzov.
No, you don't have to close the door, honey. And yes, we won't forget the camera.
With your hand on your heart, please tell me which way to go. 'Cause I sure don't know. One piece in hand, it's a start, but it's a mighty puzzle to lay. No need to say, how will I cope?
I do love castles, especially old medieval ones in Europe. Tucked away in the forest, this one is perfectly picturesque. It doesn't even look real. Originally built 700 years ago in the early 14th century, it was completely reimagined around 1900 into the ultimate romantic fortress. Today, it's consistently ranked as one of the most beautiful and magical castles in Central Europe. It might look familiar because this favorite for filmmakers starred in classic fairy tale movies and even Netflix series. It was in The Brothers Grimm, Young Indiana Jones, and more recently in The Letter for the King. As night is falling, I decide to fly a second time with the drone to capture even more magic with the setting sun.
But I'm hardly awake. A limbo dance, such a fine romance. Bit by bit, I am slowly waking to see what's real, to finally heal. How will I call?
I could not get enough of this brilliant place.
How will I call without your heartbeat? How will I call without your love? How will I call without your word? How will I call without your heartbeat? How will I call without your love? How will I with your hand on your heart? Oh, please tell me, will I call?
That was absolutely one of the most stunning sights I ever saw across Europe. A hidden gem, and especially with the sun setting, this was such an incredible, enchanting moment. So all we need now is something to make it even more beautiful, which will be one of those big Czech Republican beers they have over here. Let's look for a terrace.
The village of Bouzov turned out to be non-touristy, and life in general seems to move at a very enjoyable pace here in East Czechia. It's hard to imagine nowadays, but one of the bloodiest fights in history took place in this area. At the end of World War II in April 45, nearly 500,000 soldiers were involved in the liberation of Moravia from Germany by the Red Army, killing over 100,000 Nazis. But now it's where I prepare dinner in the evening sun.
Cheers! It's almost time to say goodbye to the Czech Republic and this beautiful campsite as well. This is one of the most beautiful camping spots I have seen in my life. With the sun coming up over the mountains, with the morning dew on the grass, this is truly one with nature. And life is cheap here as well. So, next up is Austria, but first, let's enjoy this campsite for some days.
Okay, hold up. Suze, did you just push my boy down and make him fall? Oh, and that's funny to you?
Wait for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails.
I am not kidding that the entire bill remained under 20 euros every time here, including wines and beers.
This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. Ooh, we are dreamers of the shore.
It's cold, guys. September in Czechia. Let's go for a swim.
7 years now on this boat, and we all know where we belong.
So, that was it for this episode. In a beautiful Czechia. But the road trip through Europe carries on, of course. I'll see you guys in Austria.
After a last meal on this side, we crossed the border again. And what we find is the most picturesque alpine village tucked away in the most stunning mountain pass.
It took us 4 to 5 hours to drive all the way over here from the east of the Czech Republic. But we're here in Hallstatt now. And this is one of the most beautiful places, as I told you, and one of the most photographed spots in the entire world. Because this village is squeezed in between the high mountain peaks and a pristine lake. We got a couple of days here, so let's do some exploring.
As we drive around the lake, we have fantastic views. And 10 minutes from famous Hallstatt is another UNESCO heritage town where we spent the night.
Cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing. Faces merchant change, but your face remains the same.
We sleep just on the other side of Hallstatt here in Obertraun. And we're staying there at a fantastic little inn we found there. Actual alpine houses here. Let's settle.
The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt.
We have the coziest place here, right next to the lake. Obertraun is a typical place where time stood still.
A significant life, just what it was needed. Clean in the blackest night.
We see more chickens than people and come across the charming historic Alpine train station.
And in the eyes of time, nobody's losing. The sparrows will be here by dawn.
There aren't too many restaurants, but hey, one really great one is enough though.
Over, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt. Ooh.
boys, what did we have a lovely sleep here in the mountains in a place called Obertraun. And it's also kind of a big fat tip because just on the other side of Hallstatt everything's a lot cheaper. We slept here for 60 euros, while on the other side it's at least 150 a night. But now of course we go to the other shore and see the beautiful place of Hallstatt. Wow guys.
Yes, it's time to visit the village now that inspired Disney for their most popular movie of the century. Welcome to Arendelle.
Did you know that over here in Hallstatt, in Austria, is the oldest salt mine in the world? There's been salt mining over here for 7,000 years, and they actually named the age and the civilization after this little place. It was called the Iron Age Hallstatt culture.
It's hard to miss this little fact, by the way, when we enter the village. How dreamy are these surroundings? Time to send out the drone.
I don't know what it means, but there's a smile upon your
Historically only accessible by boat, Hallstatt is a living monument and one of the oldest inhabited places in Europe.
And they say if you want a glimpse the future you need to
Hidden away in the Dachstein Alps, the village of only 800 people is often considered the most beautiful in the entire world.
Would you follow me to wonders? Take my hand and walk beside me in a world of thunder. Fear is an imposter. When you look at me this
The town of Hallstatt is immensely popular among tourists from all over the world. And that happens to be because of Disney and their town of Arendelle in the film Frozen. It was based upon this town. There is even a waterfall that flows down in the backdrop.
So the days became weeks, it felt just like the night before.
We take a morning stroll around the market square that looks more like a movie set. We paid 10 euros for parking half a day, so we have all the time in the world.
When you left, I was so completely gone, but now I'm sure you were some of the best of things to find. Would you follow me to wander?
On the lake we see typical wooden boats come and go from the iconic wooden boathouses.
Matters to me, makes me wonder why I can't get over you. When you look at me this way, I find it hard to not give in.
So let's look for the best viewpoint and photo spot in town.
In 2020, the mayor of Hallstatt declared a state of emergency when it comes to crowds and tourists. They must diminish tourist numbers, averaging 10,000 sometimes per day. But in the low season, this all seems to be solved because it's only a few hundred. A lucky day today for us. Let's go.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was
In 2026, the mass tourism is still a problem, but especially in the peak season. I wanted to show you in this video what the town looks like outside of the summer.
I think it's time for me to go.
And that spreading the crowds really helps to protect the local community. A ticket system is being developed as we speak for better regulation.
Fell between the phone, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may.
We were lucky anyway to enjoy this town so quietly.
Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep.
So we can all agree that this place is incredibly beautiful. It's so pretty that the Chinese actually made a full-size replica of the entire village over there in China in the province of Guangdong. They have the market square and the church, but I think nothing can beat the real thing, right?
right now. I'm bleeding, an easy kill. Gonna leave it all behind. I think it's time for me to go. Burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way. Fell between the fold, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may. Caught behind Elysian lines, out of reach.
We conclude the day with some typical Austrian Kremschnitte on the lakeside terrace, together with a Steinkrug of local beer.
Look at me, mama, what I've become.
We had the most incredible time in Hallstatt, but it's kind of expensive. The food, the parking, the souvenirs, everything here is a lot more expensive than on the other side. So we drive back to Obertraun, the cheap side, and we find the most incredible free playground in Europe. Because the dramatic views all around us are incredible with the mountain peaks and the lake. I'll show you.
The surrounding views and constant changing of sunlight on the mountains are the main attractions that we cannot get enough of. And this goes for little Jens too.
After Germany, Poland, Czechia and now also Austria, it is time to move on our Europe road trip. We're going to France next. See you there for the baguettes.
Instead of these Kaiserbrötchen. Also nice, by the way. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's meet up again in France soon. Ciao!